Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this game. It's played by my friend that is currently 777 rated, and we are going to look from the Black's perspective here. Because my friend is Black, yeah, let's see if we can. This is reviewing their first game. So they like to play open games, no problem. Knight c6 is a good move to defend. Actually, what I wanted to do is to talk about each move. So e4, good move. e5, good move. So we are playing so-called open game. Queen h5, not so good move. White is playing moves that they might have seen in streamers games. This is quite often recommended by Levy Roseman in his videos, but I do not think that's something that should be taken seriously. Black can simply protect the pawn with knight c6, so good move. c3, now white would like to play d4 move, and we simply kick the queen away. Queen has to move, and now we can strike in the center, so I absolutely like your game so far. So you play, white plays d3, and now you can hit the queen again with bishop g4. Those are really nice moves that you played here. And d4 is a move, as you can see, the evil bar doesn't like the move d4. What you could have done here, you can play a move like h5, protecting the bishop. Or maybe you can take on e4 first. Oh, and look at that, white cannot actually capture on e4 because you would have simply queen to d1 checkmate. So after you capture on e4, white is already losing a pawn, most likely, because as they cannot recapture, you would already be a pawn up. So that's the one thing, you know, don't try to close the position when you already have 3 pieces and you are ahead of development. So I would just try and open the position. And so it happens that we have a checkmate here immediately. So don't push the pawn forward here. Open the position, because white, by moving the queen to h5, then allowed you 3 tempage, so to get 3 pieces out. And you played really, really perfectly until this moment. So d4 is not the move I would recommend. That gives a chance to white to maybe, start kicking your bishop away and start developing their own pieces. So that's what they do. So this is a good move. This is developing move. But again, the knight is in the way of the bishop. So I believe what white needs to do, white can maybe offer you trade of the bishop instead. So this is how I would play it, to offer the trade. If you take, they get some tempi back as you just lost your active piece, and they developed the knight. So that this way they would manage to catch up a little bit in development. And if you take, they can take back with a knight or pawn, and this is protected. Even though this is a weakness, the advantage that you had is slightly evaporated. So white plays knight e2. I don't like this move much, even though the knight can go still to nice places. It's not all that great. So what do we do now? We should develop this bishop. I believe that should be our next move. But we also have a problem that in some cases, white might take on g7. So we need to have a look at this. What do we want to do here? It might be worth to try and provoke him to take on g7, but so let's say we play bishop c5 here, and white takes on g7. Look at that, black is all of a sudden winning. Why is that? Oh yeah, white actually cannot take on g7. Normally I would let you find this, but I will show you why this doesn't work, because after rook g8, the queen has the only square to retreat to is h6, and then boom, here you are trapping the queen, because this is controlled by the pawns, and rook controls the rest of those squares the knight is protecting here. So that's something to look forward to. So the bishop needs to go out, and now is also giving white a great chance to step wrongly. So let's see what you've done. You play b5, and this, I don't like this move at all, because you are sort of, you know, first, before you start pushing pawns on either side, you should look to develop your king and castle and develop all your pieces. By playing bishop c5, you're adding extra piece into the game, and you're also allowing whites to make a big blunder, which I appreciate. You wouldn't see that, but it's really important at this level, at your level at the moment, to really, you know, get your pieces into the game and then start working with those pieces. As you could see in the beginning, we had this beautiful checkmate on d1 with your queen. So b5 is not the move that I like, because it doesn't do anything for your development. And it's too early to try and attack on this side of the board. That's, what I mean by that is this, because there's not much really you're going to be attacking here. Queen h2 is a weird move. Again, if I was white, I would play bishop e2 to try and swallow some tempi of this bishop, and obviously develop myself as well. Queen h2 I don't like so much. Bishop g6, why not? Because in some cases, white would like to play g4. So that's not a bad move as such. Knight f3 now. White is attacking twice here. We're defending only once, and now he's also attacking here, but only once. So maybe at this stage, what you could do is to try and look at move like bishop d6. But you also need to be careful that sometimes if you take back here, then white might have move like e5. But this, as you can see, the Evo bar doesn't like this, and the reason will be most likely that you can defend your bishop by pinning the pawn on e5. And thanks, actually, here the b5 move is really good, because white cannot protect this pawn on e5 with knight c4. So here that move is actually working for you. But this type of forks is something that you need to always look at. So bishop d6 again is a playable move here, or you can resolve this by first taking here. So white doesn't have a time to recapture because their knight is hanging with a check. So if they capture back, then you can play a move like bishop d6. It's not most beautiful move that you can possibly play, but it's still okay. And if white tries to put more pressure here, first of all, it doesn't work because you are attacking the queen with a tempi. But second of all, you can always defend. If this was not available to you, you can always defend like this. Now white is winning here, and I can see why. Now it shows that this move is a really bad move, because once white plays d4, they open up their bishop to b5. So if he takes here, you will now have a struggle to protect the knight. So if you play move like queen d7, move d5, he is going to pin the knight forever. The knight cannot jump away because you would lose the queen behind it. So you really need to be careful with a move like b5 in the future, because there will be lines which will prove that that move is not very good. And here you could see why it would be so. So after knight f3, you play a5, and you're completely forgetting about this pawn and maybe this pawn as well. So now white has a winning advantage, and I think they can just simply take here. Now pinning the queen doesn't work, because you can just take here. You're counter-attacking this queen. So if you take, let's say we take, and now if you count the pieces, you lost the piece in the process. Again, let's go back a bit. So it's important to also see what is opponent doing. And as you can see, once they start developing pieces, every single time you develop a piece in the center of the board, you are adding some pressure somewhere. So this is what you need to check when they play, what their movement, and they added pressure here and they added pressure here. But here you are protected enough, but here you're not. So that's something that you need to pay attention to. What is your opponent's plans? So you play a5, and again, this move I don't like because it doesn't develop the piece. As you see, I was many times saying, develop the bishop here or there, because that's what you need to do. Develop your bishop castle. That should be your goal out of the opening, to have your king castled and to develop as many minor pieces as possible. Castling, what castling does is it connects your rooks, so that's what you need to strive for in the opening. And I guarantee you that most of these players at your level, they will just not know what to do after you develop your pieces properly. Most of the time you will be winning your games straight from the opening. So after knight h4, this doesn't look very healthy. As you see, white did not stake on e5, so they are not focusing on those one-move threats. You could have maybe... No, that wouldn't have worked. I was thinking to take here, but white has this in-between move taking there, so it wouldn't work. So what you play, knight e7, that's okay-ish, but again, what is the problem here? You need to see that the queen is attacking this pawn. By moving the knight here, you are removing the defender of e5, and I'm sorry to say that, once your pawn on e5 is gone, now another pawn is hanging here, another pawn is hanging here, and to be honest, I will try and teach you chess in a way where you have one pawn extra, and that will win you the game. So losing a pawn is really dangerous on any level, and here your position will just simply collapse. So you can see that once you play that move, the evo bar is going down, 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 because it's a bad move. So queen e5 actually gets played, so that's a good move. Queen d7 protects all of it, but white can still capture here with a queen or with a pawn. And I know that at this level, people already are able to see all those captures. So one of the things that you need to focus on is captures and checks. Those are the two things that I always recommend to look at. And also try and review your own games like I'm doing now. Try to maybe with the evo bar instead of, analyzing with game review. Try an evo bar and always try and figure out what's changed in the position, what is the best move of the opponent. That way you will learn to look for the third important thing. So the first is checks, second is captures, and third most important thing is threats. So if you look through your games, you will learn to spot the first basic threats and later on more advanced threats. So knight g6 happens, you take back. Maybe now if, since you played the move knight e7, I wanted to say you should be taking here with the knight, but I forgot that you are being pinned, so not always. I'll tell you the best possible thing in the game. White is losing a little bit of advantage. I'm sure he would lose no advantage if he take queen d4. As you can see, computer likes this move. Maybe cd4 is also good. But why do I think queen d4 is better? Because you are offering trade of queens. You are up 2 pawns, if I count correctly. Just bear with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6. So you want, once you are up material, you should be trying to trade queens, but not too actively. You can sometimes offer trade of queens, and if white is, if this weaker side is more aware, they will just try and retreat those queens away. So that way you get some advantage by just offering the queen a queen trade, because they wouldn't want to lose their game. So knight f3, I don't like so much. Rook h5, I like this move, even though eval bar doesn't like it, because again, you are forcing white to find the best move, which is to take the pawn. So again, the better move would be first to take here. However, white recaptures, and then you can start doing something more active, because this pawn is now attacked 3 times. So that's a very important capture that you need to resolve. You cannot just be dropping pieces and pawns. To play rook h5, white retreats that way, which is strange. And again, yeah, knight c6 is okay move, but it could be also a problem, because let's say white captures here. Well, now it wouldn't be such a problem, because you're actually adding the protection of the e5 with the rooks. So again, let's grab this pawn. So you are defending enough on d4, which is okay. Bishop e2 happens. And now, bishop d6, I like it. You're attacking the queen, that's a perfect move. e5 is a bad move, and the computer doesn't like it. And again, on this level, every single capture could win you the game. So sometimes you can win really, really quickly. And as you can see, how many times is white defend? White is defending 2 times, and you are attacking 3 times. So if you are having more attackers than defenders, then you can always capture. So e5 is just losing a pawn. And another mistake that it represents is that white is now helping you to also open the position against his own king. So, and you are threatening the queen with the tempi. So move like knight takes d3 would have win you the queen with the check for the price of the knight and the bishop, obviously, because he can capture the knight. Here, I'll just quickly show it. Let's say white plays something strange like this. So we can take. This is just why I was saying that it will cost you 2 pieces for a pawn and a queen. Just wanted to demonstrate what I'm saying. So knight e5, bishop e5 is a fine move. You are attacking the queen again. But why does the computer not like it? Yeah, I can see why computer doesn't like it. There's much stronger move. Sometimes, you know, when you have a threat of on queen, sometimes much stronger move is to play move like rook to e5. Now the problem is you are pinning the bishop. That means that if white castle, you just take the bishop for free, and at the same time you will be attacking the queen. If a white retreats here, you're still winning that bishop because you are again attacking the queen. So by taking here with the rook, you're creating a lot more threats. And those are very difficult to answer for white. White can play move like bishop f4, but here you have really strong move. You can play knight to h5, hitting both the bishop, both the queen. So even if white offers trade like so, you can just simply capture here. White can trade queens, but then they would be down material, and at the same time you're attacking here too many times. So if they recapture here, the same team check, and then capturing the queen in the next move. So as you can see, rook e5 was a much stronger move than bishop e5, but bishop e5 is a fine move. Now, what should white do here is keep on developing. So white should play bishop f4. It seems like computer doesn't like bishop f4 so much. So instead of queen f3, then there will be a second move, and that's f4. That gives white a little bit more time. While he's kicking your bishop, the bishop has to go back. And now they will finally castle, and they should be okay. But I think the computer likes, again, some different moves. So maybe it's move c takes d4, but I don't really like this. Or could be move for like bishop d2. Oh, no. I'll give you like 5 seconds to spot the best move. It's very late here, and I'm doing just one quick recap before I have to go to sleep. Because as I told you, I have a really busy day ahead of me. Busy week. So here the answer is very simple. Just take on h5, and that gives you that winning advantage. So as you can see, sometimes, you know, this is actually something that I haven't noticed for a while, that after knight e5, now our rook here is in trouble. So we had to take. That's another reason why we should have taken with the rook here and not with the bishop. So f4 would be actually a move that will give advantage to white. So again, try and always look at as many possibilities in your games as possible. If you can analyze just with the evo bar and try and figure out what happens, just like I'm doing, instead of using game review, that way you will improve ton. So white plays queen f3, and it's a really tricky move because they're attacking our rook. So I kind of like this move so much. So if you were, for example, to castle to protect the rook, you would lose in just single move. Queen a8 would be a checkmate. So I need to be careful of that. So here we need to protect the rook in the corner. I believe one of the moves that can fix the problem that we created with b5 would be just simply to play c6. That way the rook is no longer hanging, and at the same time we are protecting this pawn for now. Queen f3 wasn't good move. White should have taken on h5, as you can see. So after this, you taking on c3, and again, what you have missed is the big threat that white has, and it is to take your rook. They see it, they take, there you go, king e7, that's fine. Now they see as well that they can take your rook. That's really good play from white, and they are starting to get a little bit greedy, so they need to be careful as well, because what they forgot, that you also have a threat of your own. So your threat is to fork both the bishop and board the rook with your bishop. So again, white is forgetting about the possible threat that you might have. So here what they could do is just to play maybe rook b1. So when you take here, they are here many times. There are 2 times, you are just 1 time, and they would be absolutely fine. And as you can see, they will be totally winning. So always, you know, you need to try and focus on opponent's threat. But then again, white still might have some moves. But I think bishop g5 doesn't work, because with the f6 you are attacking here. and this thread would still be open. So white again makes a mistake by being too greedy and forgetting that you might have your own ideas. So you're taking, which is really good. White is checking you and now adding some more pressure onto this bishop, which is fine. I believe now is really good time to offer queen trade for you, which you don't do. And that means that white is still totally winning. All they have to do is just take here with the bishop. The reason why I would say it's good to offer the queen trade if white actually doesn't work. My idea that I was thinking of doesn't work 100% because white can still recapture here. And my idea was if you take here and they take here that you will win the rook, but doesn't work because we are now in a check. So that's what I was thinking at first. But if they capture here, then maybe you can play move like b4, but they still have queen b3 and they are just chilling. And unfortunately we cannot take here, they take back, and no check is gonna help us. So we were still losing, and that is absolutely fine. So white plays queen e3, we go king e6, which is fine, they take. We play d6, f6, I mean. So knight f4. Now we are starting to cook some checkmates maybe. So white plays rook e1, which is okay, and you play queen d5, which is a nice move. You are threatening a checkmate in one. And would I ever, if white misses your option? White is actually not missing this. You play knight e3, hitting the rook, which is fine. White checks, you protect, that's also good. Check, run. But again, to keep any winning chances, you need to avoid trades. So again, I would go here instead of going here because white will check you from behind, trades the queens. Another problem here is that if you check, if you check, let's say you go here, which is also dangerous, actually, with some possible checks in the future. But let's say you just we capture back, then we might need to capture here. We have time to capture here. Well, anyway, after all those trades, you are just simply losing because king and the rook will be easily stopping this pawn and winning the game. So it would be a simple win. You need to avoid trades in essence. So white is going after you. I think the best move here is to hit the bishop, at least with the pawn. The knight is protecting, so you should have been okay there. c5 is okay. Queen a6 happens. Queen a5 happens. At least I like that you are going on the dark squares, so they cannot capture here with the check that I like. And bishop c5 is totally losing them the game. What? Okay, I guess I can see what's happening, and it's absolute beauty. Take, that's perfect. Now, they cannot go to f1 because they would be checkmated with queen f2. And obviously, this just gives up the rook. And if they go here, which I believe they have, oh no, they got themselves checkmate. Perfect. So if they go into the corner, you have knight to f2. They have to go back here. You have a knight to h3. They again cannot go here because of the checkmate. And if they go here, you have queen g1 check. Rook has to take back, and now you have knight f2 checkmate. The bishop protects, the knight wins here the game. So, well, I have to say you play quite a good game, but I hope there was some points where I let you know that, they could have been played better. And with regards to the opening, I absolutely love how you play the opening. This is how you should play the opening. Just don't push the pawn forward next time. Just take what's yours, which is a pawn here. If he takes back, obviously checkmate him with a queen d1. And if he doesn't take back, then enjoy the extra pawn. Maybe then you can start offering queens yourself. You can poster, protect this bishop, and you should be simply winning here because you have more pieces out in the game, and white is going to be struggling to even regain the pawn back. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to see more of your future games. As I told you before, I will be reviewing only the rapid games, and good luck in your next games. See ya.